Be on your way. Take the steps. When you have a dream, you gotta start. It's the only way. If you're gonna shine, and you're gonna shine, shine, shine. You're gonna shine.
Always shining bright here on the ranch. It started out as a gloomy day, and the sun just broke through, and it's beautiful. And as Billy says, we are worth the wait. I was just, backstage gabbing with Rick, and then I got lost track of time. But we're here. We're here. And again, this is the ranch. I span the globe, and I literally mean that. I check all kinds of sites for the best Americana country music of indie artists, right? And I'm going to share those with you tonight. And we go across 8 platforms tonight. That's right. We've included Twitter tonight. I'm dying to see how that goes. If you're Twittering, we can see your comments. That's what's great about StreamYard. So all these comments, we can see, and like I just did, I can share them with you. So this tonight, Rick was actually, someone shared Rick with me, which I appreciated. I checked him out. I'm like, he's got to be on the show. So without further ado, let's talk to Rick Lovett. Yeah.
Hello, everybody. Hi, Randie.
Hi. How are you?
I'm doing very well. I'm on your show today. You're making my day.
Yeah, you're making my day too. This is always a highlight of my week. It really is. I love picking other artists' brains, see how things work, what's done, what works, what doesn't work, see where you've been. And you've been on some journeys too. Now you were living in Detroit. Now you're in California.
Yeah, I grew up in Detroit, down in the inner city of Detroit. I had an interesting childhood. I used to shoe shine down there in the old country area of Detroit where they had a string of bars. I was a shoe shine boy down there, and I still remember all them old country songs coming out of those old bars down there where I used to shoe shine, and I never forget them. And I think my style of music kind of reflects that too. Them old timers like Porter Wagner and Johnny Cash and all the old timers, Ernest Tubb. I like that old music. And that's where it came from.
You said Detroit and where you were hanging out. It does fit your music. It really does. I think Detroit gets a bad rap because of what it's been through. And like Allentown, where I'm from, the decline of industry. But the music scene in Detroit is a really strong music scene, from what I understand.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's got a rich history of music when you include the Motown sound there. But Ted Nugent is from here, and Kid Rock is from here, and there's several other ones from the old farther back that I don't remember. But one thing I noticed when I came out to San Diego, California, and I formed a bluegrass band when I got here, is in the bars out here. I thought the quality of the music, unless you were seeing some big act, if you were just seeing local shows, I thought the bar bands in Detroit were better. But they were getting paid too. A lot of bands in California, because there's so many bands here.
Yeah.
And there's just so many here. They don't need to pay you. And you go to a bar down on the beach, those bars are already full. They don't need your entertainment. So I just I'm not putting California down because I love California and I love being here. But I think the music that I went through, the bars that I went through with that music, I just thought the bands were better, but maybe it was because they was getting paid. But I didn't see all the bands in California. The big name bands that I've seen out here, they were all really good. They were excellent. And then the real professional ones that are getting paid, they were all good. I've been to a lot of bars.
Sounds like you've been to a lot of bars. We need to talk about that issue of yours.
I just wrote a song called The Shamrock Bar. I hate to reveal that on TV, and then somebody else writes a bunch of Shamrock Bars. But I just recorded it, and I don't think it's gonna. We're taking our time on it, so I don't think it's gonna be out for another month. But yeah, I'm writing a book, and when I was a shoe shine boy, I shined shoes out in front of the Shamrock Bar. And so I'm writing this part about when I was a kid and one of the experiences there. And I placed myself and my brother in front of the Shamrock Bar. And as I was writing, all of a sudden, I wasn't writing in the book no more. I turned the page up and I wrote that song, Shamrock Bar. And I forgot that I had done it then. But when I was reviewing my book, I picked that page up and I go, there it is. There's the song, Shamrock Bar. And that's how that song came to me. And I went down and seen Jeff Ford. I'm talking a lot about the Shamrock, ain't I? I went and seen Jeff and I for a recording session, and I sang that song. And he said, "Put everything else down. We're going to record this song." And so we did it.
What's a country act without a bar song? Actually,
Well,
I wrote a bar song called Queen of the Bar Stool Two-Step, and it got me banned on Twitter. I am kind of proud of that.
what was the title?
Queen of the Bar Stool Two-Step.
and they got you banned?
Yeah, because the video, one of the lines is "line them up, I'll shoot it down." So I lined up shots on the video and pretended to shoot it down. It was actually Ice-T. You know how that goes.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
Twitter was not amused at all, and they banned the song.
So much for freedom of speech, and
Yeah,
I guess they're pretty hard on that. Do you remember? I think it was Tippy, one of the vice president's wife she was on a rampage to clean up music, I guess, and so I think she was after some of the rap music that was pretty violent. But then some guy, I think I seen it in the movie, and said one of Johnny Cash's lines was, "I shot a man in Reno just to watch him die." So, and that goes back to Jimmy Rogers. He had a song called "T for Texas, T for Tennessee, T for Thelma. Going to buy me a shotgun, shoot poor Thelma, just to watch her jump and die." And that was like in the 30s or 40s.
It's funny, Rick. We forget our history when we make these broad statements. You don't like rap music or whatever. You want a good protest song, listen to folk music.
Yeah.
I mean, talk about freedom of speech. It was quintessential folk music, those nice people, the hippies, coming out with some of the biggest political statements, whether you like them or not. To me, that's music. And if you don't like it, in the words of George Carlin, turn the station.
Yeah, I think there was a writer back there, Pete Seeger. Have you ever heard of him? I think he wrote "If I Had a Hammer." He wrote a bunch of those types of songs like that. I liked all that folk music back then. Peter, Paul, and Mary, the Kingston Trio. I liked all that. I was
The harmonies, Rick. Come on, the 3-part harmonies of those bands.
Yeah. Sometimes I've been told that I sound like Gordon Lightfoot. I've been told by 4 people that I sound like Gordon Lightfoot. And I took it as a compliment because Gordon Lightfoot was really great, and he was a very accomplished and a very successful person. So to be compared my voice to his voice, I'm happy with that. If I hope I do like 10% as good as Gordon Lightfoot did. I'm a Gordon Lightfoot fan.
Yeah, he's a solid songwriter for sure, and he's well produced. Again, the harmonies.
Yeah, he wrote "In the Early Morning Rain," and that was covered by Peter, Paul, and Mary. And if you listen to all those versions, Gordon Lightfoot did the best one. Maybe it was because he wrote it. It just sounds like he's got a lot of heart in that song. I love that song. That's my favorite Gordon Lightfoot song.
Oh, it's definitely good. It's a good song. Good song. But Peter, Paul, and Mary, all of them. I hang along with a lot of folkies out here. I have a lot of respect. To write simply is very hard, because there's no room for mistakes like when you play, when you have stripped down productions and things like that.
Yeah.
So
I made a lot of mistakes when I was playing live. I was in a band with a loud drummer.
I know that's the beauty of it. A lot of folk music don't use drums. They didn't even like electric guitars to start, but I like a good drummer and a good rhythm section. And, you know, once you sit in the pocket, yeah, a few mistakes here and there, just, you know, sing loud, play soft, you know.
After a couple of sets, when you had a couple of beers and everybody else has a couple of beers, then you start sounding better. When I was in the bluegrass band, we didn't have a drummer either, and at that point, I didn't want a drummer no more because I still have the tinnitus in my ears. I got the ringing from when I played rock and roll. I had a real heavy drummer that I played. He was my friend, and we played together for years. But my ears are still ringing from it. So when we're in the bluegrass, I don't think bluegrass bands have drummers anyways. So, and we didn't have a real good sound system. So we were having problems. Those bars were so packed. We were having problems getting our sound out there without it screeching. So,
well, Billy, we have some people watching, and they agree that you sound like Gordon Lightfoot. And Copy Guy says go back to the 20s and 30s in some of them music and films. And today's ratings, they probably wouldn't even they'd be censored probably. And he also believes it's great to be inspired by amazing songwriters, singers, players, always heartfelt, which I agree with.
I agree with 100% on that. I like Gordon Lightfoot a lot.
Yeah. And I think we do that. Well, let's talk about your songwriting process. I know I do that. I get inspired by different songwriters and writing in different styles, you know, because you don't want the same feel for your entire album, right?
Oh, right. I got a song out there called Sweet, Sweet Love. And when I'm out drinking my beer and listening to my song list, my favorite song changes a lot. And for quite a bit there, it was Cry to Me by Solomon Burke. He covered it. It was an Otis Redding song. And so that I was so into that song. He starts, and a lot of people are, he starts off going, when your baby leaves you all alone. So I just got that feeling. I'm from Detroit, and I like to say I got a little Motown influence in me. So my song, it just went like this. I've been thinking about my baby ever since she's been gone. And then when I put the bass line in it, it sounded like a Motown bass line. And I'm very inspired by those old bass lines from Motown. And that song turned out to be sort of, I don't know, it's not old country, it's not new country, and it's not country rock. I don't know, it's Rick Lovett doing country, but it's got maybe a little bit of a Motown thing, and I hope it does.
You got a little bit of honky tonk. Well, let's talk about your song, Guitar Song, which we're going to listen to in a couple seconds here. Talk to me about Guitar Song, quintessential country guitar song.
Well, that song does have, when I wrote that song, it's got a little bit of a macabre story behind it. Many years ago, I grew up in a rough part of Detroit, and my cousin, he was playing in a bar down in Detroit, and he called me up one night. He says, "Why don't you come on down here and play with me and the boys?" And he was hanging around with more rowdy guys than I was hanging around with. And I said, "No, I don't think I can do that, Paul." And he said, "Come on, Ricky, you can play on Friday and Saturday night." Well, a couple of weeks later, my cousin Paul got himself killed violently. He got into an argument. Yeah, he got himself killed. Somebody hit him with an axe, and nobody went to jail. But anyways, so I was on my way to band practice, and I'd seen a guy that had hit a tree, and they had him laid out on the street there with one of those yellow plastic bags covering him, and that bag was flapping in the wind, and this was in San Diego. And so I felt bad, and I thought, boy, this is really tragic. And when that thought came, I thought of Paul, because he got killed so tragically. And then when I thought of Paul on my way to band practice, that song came to me. I can play on Friday and Saturday night. I can sing these old songs. So I wrote that song completely on the way to band practice after thinking about the tragedy of my cousin Paul. So I think that song, I've wrote a lot of songs that kind of go like that. Folks out there might be surprised how bluegrass songs and rock songs kind of, if you get them going and you're just rolling, it's the same. It's pretty much the same thing. When I used to play bars, I don't care what song we played a lot, mostly rock and roll. But the song that would really get them up was Cadillac Ranch by Bruce Springsteen. And that song, so then I just jump into that G and just go to it. And so I've written a lot of songs that just jump off in that G. So guitar song was just that. I can play on Friday and Saturday night. I can sing these old songs. And I'm just ripping up that G, just like in the same tradition that Bruce Springsteen did, and that I've done in several other songs. And many artists have went down that road. And so if you write some cool words to a base of music that works, that music works. I know it does because I've played it's not that particular lyrics, but that groove, getting it on, people get up and start dancing. So when I kind of knew that the music would work, but I didn't know if this is a guitar song. People might be expecting Stairway to Heaven or Blue Sky or something like that. But this song, I just think, rips it up as an old time basic rock and roll song. And it does have some great guitar work on it. I owe all of that song to the guitar work that Russell Hayden in Nashville, Tennessee played the steel guitar and the slide guitar. And he's just amazing. And then Trevor C. Edwards, he's from San Diego. He played the other guitar on it. And I played an acoustic guitar on it. And they just ripped it up, and they did a very basic, really cool sound for that song. They didn't overstep it and try to get too fancy. They just jumped right into the rawness of it. And I'm really surprised that song is doing so well. And I'm getting a lot of streams now from all over the world. And that song, sometimes it's first, and it's always in the top 4 of my songs. And I'm really happy with that. I think that's a pretty cool song. And if I was in a bar, I'd love to play that song.
All right, let's listen to the guitar song.
I can play on Friday and Saturday night. I can sing these old songs. I don't give a rip if the words ain't right. I'm having some fun tonight. Don't worry for a minute, old faithful fan. If I get into a jam, I'll drink some beer and fake some words till the song comes to an end. 'Cause I've been playing this guitar all night long. Everybody dancing on the floor is what keeps me hanging on. I had me a job working 9 to 5. I couldn't wait till I got off. At quitting time, I headed home and picked that guitar up. I went on down to the bar and I found my rowdy friend. We all tuned up and let it rock and roll up to the end. 'Cause I've been playing this guitar all night long. Everybody dancing on the floor is what keeps me hanging on. Cause I've been playing this guitar all night long. Everybody dancing on the floor is what keeps me hanging on. And the bartender said, we're gonna shut you down. All the music ends at 2 a.m. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here.
Thank you
All
very
right.
much.
We are on the ranch. Welcome, everybody. We have some people watching and let you know we are going live across 8 platforms tonight. And as of last week, you can watch the episodes of The Ranch on Roku. So I am so thrilled to be a real television show, which I'm really thrilled about. So any artists out there who are watching and you want to be on The Ranch, there's this annoying ticker thing going down below, and it has my website /shows, and you can fill out the form and maybe you could be on The Ranch as well, just like Rick Lovett.
Man, I'm so glad to be here. I'm having a great time with you, Randie. Thank you very much for playing that song.
Oh man, that's a good one. And what I appreciate when you tell me the backstory, and I try to do this too, you take a heavy topic, but your audience means everything to you. And you want to keep them upbeat and dancing, and you don't want to be like a downer, with your audience.
Yeah, you know what you mentioned a while back about bar songs. My brother, the next 2 songs that you're going to play, my brother Steve, my late brother, he was my mentor in songwriting. And then we wrote songs together. He was a lyricist, and he could create melodies and strum a guitar a little bit, but he couldn't put it all together. So I became he called me his co-writer. I said, I'm your guitar player. That's good enough.
Next 2 songs.
Those 2 songs that I just wanted to say that I didn't write these upcoming songs.
Okay.
And I think I derailed here for a second, Randie. And
Steve wrote them.
the what?
That Steve wrote them. Steve wrote your.
Yeah, I know. I just wanted to say that my brother wrote these upcoming songs.
Okay.
Well, I know what I was getting at here. When he mentored me about writing songs, it was about those bar songs. He said, write songs that they'll like in a bar. And he said, because in them country bars, those people, that's going to be your audience. If you write songs they're going to like in a bar. So the guitar song is one of those songs, I believe, if you're sitting in a bar, you're going to jump up and you're going to go over there and start dancing. And he also said, if you're going to write a song, think about if you can't think of something, then if there's been a song out there, a noted song, like, for example, the old Shirelle song, Baby, It's You. He and I wrote a song called Baby Again, It's You. It's nothing like the Shirelle song, but we just played off of that, Baby Again, It's You. And I just wanted to mention that, talking about bar songs. If you're writing songs out there, write songs that they'll like in a bar. If you're writing country songs, then you're kind of on your way. And I hear a lot of this modern country music talking about drinking beer and being at the bar and drinking some whiskey and stuff. And that's why.
Yeah, I would strongly recommend if you're writing, because most of us wind up in bars, wineries. We have some breweries out here, and listen to what they're dancing to. That's kind of, changed a little bit in the modern country, the 2-stepping, the line dancing and things like that. It's not that hard to put that type of beat behind some lyrics.
In the guitar song, back when I was playing with the Highgrass Rollers in San Diego, I was usually the front man for the bands that I've been in. I guess I'm a good BSer. And on that song, I went in between the songs. I had this thing I'd do. I'd say, well, all my rowdy friends settled down. So I found some new ones because everybody in the band was younger than me. And so I played that off Hank Williams' song, his Rowdy Friends, Uh-huh. So in this song, guitar song, I do that again when I say, I'm going to find my rowdy friends and head on down to the bar. I mentioned those rowdy friends again. Oh, and in Texas Night, I did it again. So I think Hank Williams, when he said, "Oh, my rowdy friends," he gave me a little gift there. So I thank him for that. All my rowdy friends. And those ones have settled down too, and I had to get some more new ones.
Yeah, you have to you're feeding the rowdy friends.
That's right. I got to keep my rowdy friends going. If they settle down, I'll find some new ones.
You're the guy your mother's warned people about.
Pardon me, I didn't hear you, Randie.
You're the guy mothers warned girls about. The rowdy guy.
Yeah, I think so. Probably when I was a young, dashing fellow, but I've but I've been with the same wife I've been married to family. I won't say how long, but because I don't want to give away that I'm 85 years old. I'm not really 85. Don't take that seriously.
Good, man. Looking and sounding good.
But I've been married to the same woman for a long time, and she's a very pretty lady, and I'm happy to be with her. But yeah, I was a pretty handsome kid when I was a kid. I
Oh,
think
that's
the girls liked me, but I've
a
had
handsome,
this one lady mostly.
a handsome guy with a guitar. What could go wrong?
That's right. I play guitar. Oh, you know what? Now that you brought that up, that's one of my lines in Shamrock Bar. I can't wait for this song to come out. I got one song that just came out the other day called "Baby Again It's You," but it hasn't came up yet. I just loaded it in TuneCore, and it's another one of those songs. I put a bass line in it. It kind of sounds. It's got a Motown influence, but Shamrock Bar is not quite done. I sent it out to my guitar player, Buzz Campbell, and he hasn't sent it back yet. And there's a couple of more things I want to do to it. But yeah, that mentions. I guess I'll tell her to play guitar. I'm trying to impress a girl in the Shamrock Bar. My friend once told me, he said, "You know what I'm going to get? I'm going to get one of those necklaces that's got a guitar on it, man, so everybody knows I play guitar." Right on, Johnny.
You know how many guys I know that started playing guitar to get the girl?
Plenty of them, I bet.
I bet. Yep.
Yeah, that my friend used to tell me that he started playing the guitar for the beer, the glory, and the girls, and I think that's in there. All three of those things are in there.
Yep. And that's universal. That hasn't changed over time. That's probably still something that's going on, you know.
Yeah. Get a guitar, guys. Tell me to
it.
play guitar, or if you're looking for borrow somebody's little puppy. Girls like puppies too.
A puppy and a guitar in a
Yeah,
park.
puppies and a guitar.
You're set. You're set.
Yeah, I guess I'll tell her I play guitar. I want to sing you a song. Okay. Pam's telling me, don't sing your song there. You ain't come out yet. It's a good one, though. I'm really happy. Everybody that's heard this Shamrock Bar song is really happy with it. So, and it's one of them dance songs.
But Rick, we have to talk about songs we're going to hear tonight. That one isn't even done yet. We have to listen to "Before Time Reaches Me," which is a really pretty song. I love
Let's talk about that one.
Let's talk about that one.
Before Time Reaches Me was one of those songs. When they get real serious like that, they're written by my brother. If they're bar songs, they're written by me. But my brother, he was more like a poet. And when he wrote that song probably 40 years ago. And it might be one of his best. I think you're going to play Old Memory Road too. He also wrote that one. Before Time Reaches Me, when you listen to it, I guess people can interpret differently. But actually, he wrote that song. We had a large family. There's 10 of us. And my oldest brother was 20 years older than me. And he was the oldest of everyone. And he passed away when he was young. And so Steve actually wrote that song because my mother was so heartbreaking about losing him that she never got over that.
Yeah.
So he actually wrote that song about his relationship with my mother. He's wanting my mother to go ahead and let go and start thinking about the rest of her kids. It was sort of like a message to her, but he told me all that. And then he said, "Well, it's okay. People want to think it's about a guy that's trying to get a girlfriend or his wife to forget either a soldier who's passed away or somebody who's died or something, to get over it and move on with him." I think that's the general thought of that song. We were going to do a video, and we were going to try the military aspect of it. We were going to try to show a girl going to the grave and be a military guy there. And Jeff filmed a lot of that stuff, and it just didn't turn out. So we wound up doing just me walking up the alley there by the studio. Have you seen the video, Randie?
Yeah, I have. Yeah.
that part where I'm just I'm just walking up the alley there with Jeff filming me. And I don't know if they're in it, but our Jeff's studio is in like an industrial street. There's a welding shop down up not far up from it. And some of the guys were out there welding and watching us do that. And so the guy that filmed all my videos, his name's Jeff Forrest. And Jeff is originally from Michigan. And I've known him for 20 years. And I've done over 25 songs with him and many videos now. And he's got a nice studio, but he's no big time person with millions of dollars and unlimited money to spend on things. And what he does for the little bit that he's had, he does very good videos. I think he's a genius because he doesn't have that much to work with, just his camera and his little studio. And he doesn't, I never see him write anything down. I go, Jeff, are you going to write this down? And I'll write out like, this is what I want. This is what I want to show up like that. And he'll look at it and set it down. And then he does some of it. He follows some of it. But he just goes out there, and I think he just does it off the cuff. And that one there, he said, we're just going to have you walking up the alley here, and I'm going to film you. And I kind of like it. I thought he did a good job on that. And the cover of that, if someone goes on there to watch that video, the cover on that is my brother, Steve, back in the day. And he's sitting in his Mustang in an alleyway in Detroit. And he's the fellow that wrote that song. And I give him, that was my brother. And I give him, he taught me how to write. And, but I can't write like him. But I can put music. I can put music in.
All right, let's give this a listen to. See your brother.
I'd like to walk on his mountain, stepping in his tracks. But it was he there, not I, when you crowned him, and it wouldn't bring him back. All the stories I have heard, his sword was covered with jewels, and he must have been something dear. He was full of love for you. Let the silver streams wash his tracks down the mountain to the sea. For he is gone to a place as big, and now it's you and me. I don't like his shadow, oh my darling, set it free. Give me his velvet moment before time reaches me. I care only for tomorrow, our lives ahead. Why write the book again? It's already been read. I hold your hand now, but you must understand. Let dust turn to dust. Let the ocean wash the sand. Let dust turn to dust. Let the ocean wash the sand. Let the silver stream wash his tracks down the mountain to the sea. For he is gone to a place as big, and now it's you and me. I don't like his shadow, oh my darling, set it free. Give me his velvet washing on down to the sea. Yeah, let 'em wash 'em on down to the sea.
All
Thank you
right.
very much.
Oh, thank you, Rick, for sharing your music with us tonight, spending your time and joining me on the ranch, where we are live again across 8 platforms tonight. And Copy Guy loves this. Again, for all of you watching, this is interactive. So you make some comments and we get to see them here. And I agree that it's, I really do like this song. It's authentic. And I'm actually glad you did the video the way you did it, because it lets people interpret what, you know, because everyone has had loss and can identify in some level with that.
With
So,
that song, that was one of his really great songs. And when I knew I was going to do it sometime in my life, because that's one of my, it probably is my favorite song. And so when he presented the words and he was going through it with it, I put arranged the guitar work on it and stuff. So that was and he liked to watch me sing that song more than me play the guitar and him sing it. He actually liked me to perform that in front of him. And they say imitation is the greatest form of flattery. So in the studio, when I recorded that song, I wanted to talk about the people that are on it, because I owe so much to them. The guy that played the steel guitar on it, again, was Russell Hayden from Nashville, Tennessee. And he played that so beautiful. It sounds like there's an orchestra or something backing me up. He even makes it sound like I've got this beautiful set of ladies singing behind me or something. It's just an extraordinary piece of work that Russell did. And then the violin player, that I like to call her a violin player, her name's Alicia Previn. She's Andre Previn's daughter. Andre Previn is a famed pianist, 6-time Oscar winner, as a matter of fact. And Alicia, I got to meet her, and I watched her do 6 songs, and 3 of the songs she had practiced, and this was one of them. But she did it in 3 hours, and I was totally amazed at her talent. And so I think that those two, and Jeff, of course, he played the piano and the drums and the bass. Jeff Forrest does so much for me. I owe so much to all these people on this particular song. Really, on all of them. But she really played that fiddle on there, or the violin, say, and beautifully. She's really good. If you should tune her in sometime. She reminds me of Electric Light Orchestra, and I've seen them 3 times way back in the day. And she plays them live. She plays a lot of their songs, and I think on the songs that she played for me, you can hear that. If you got the ear for it, you can hear that Electric Light Orchestra influence in her fiddle playing. And she's really super good and super trained at it, and a very professional and a very friendly person too. And I owe her a lot. I owe them all a lot for making this song really good. It turned out better than I ever thought it would. I just love all those people, and I want to thank them very much.
you know, there's something to be said for writing a song, letting it live for a while, and then coming back to it years later and then taking it back into the studio.
Yeah, that's exactly what's happened here with me. An advantage that I have on a lot of these young songwriters is that I've got so many songs that I've written down through the years with my brother. I'm kind of bottlenecked on them, and most of the songs I'm revisiting them. But lately I've been writing a lot of new songs that I've recorded, and I'm very happy with them too, because I haven't lost my touch. And yeah, revisiting the old days and playing those old songs. And I've got, oh man, I got a couple of lined up. I got about 6 songs. Buck Owen said, you got to get all your ducks lined up. And I got 6 more songs that right in my mind. And I like to take my time with them. And, but they're already written. And a couple of them just need to be tidied up a little bit. And they're all really good songs, because either I wrote them or one of my brothers wrote them, or Steve helped write them. Sometimes we co-wrote them, and he was such a good writer. I'm very proud, and I have a lot of confidence that these songs are going to do well. And that particular song there now has risen to the top for me. It started off with "I Ain't Got the Money," which I wrote, and that song really charged out of the gate and did real well for me. And it's still the #1 song for me. But over the last 2 months, "Before Time Reaches Me" has become my #1 song. And I don't know what genre that song is, and I don't know that it fits. I don't think it fits modern country music. It doesn't fit pop. It doesn't fit rock. I don't even know.
See it sitting country Americana. I definitely see that.
Americana.
Yeah, I definitely do. I definitely do.
And it's a beautiful song, so I was happy to do it, and I think it rose to the top with my songs. And I think if the public hear it, they'll hear the value of that song, the deep words that my brother wrote, and the beautiful music that Jeff and all of us made in there, especially Russell Hayden with that steel guitar. You listening, Russell? Watch the show, Russell.
If you're listening out there, we'd love to hear from you. Tell us where you're watching from. I always like to know where our audience is sitting. And our last song that we're going to be playing, and again, what's a country band without a song about a country road, a memory road?
Yes, "Old Memory Road." That's another one of those songs that he wrote, Steve. Beautiful song. I just love this song, "Old Memory Road," and I love practicing it here and putting it together. And I loved watching him sing that song too. We played so many songs together. And "Old Memory Road," sometimes I think he was writing it about me and him, because one night in Detroit, we lived down in an industrial area, and he lived a couple of blocks from me, and it was raining really hard, and it was slushy rain because it was a late fall, and so the rain was slush, and he looked over at me and he said, "Let's remember this night when it's raining for the rest of our lives, all right?" And just walking in the rain together, and because it was dark and it was late, and we were walking. Many times me and him worked at Fleetwood's together, and we would walk home at night because our old cars wouldn't start. So 3 or 4 times we had to walk home and stuff like that. So when he wrote that part of it was a walk in the rain. It was a walk in the rain. I think he was throwing a little bit of them walks in the rain there that me and him. That "Old Memory Road," I really, the way he wrote that song, it's amazing. He was just, I think the world has lost a little bit of something for not knowing how great a writer that Steve Lovett was. He started doing that when he was real young, and he did it for many years. And he was in the Lovett Brothers band with me, and he was really good. He could do cover songs. He did them really good too. He could do Jay Giles, and he did them really good too. But he didn't like to do it. He only wanted to write songs, and he didn't like. I don't know if he liked playing in bars either. But he quit the band. Says, "I'm not going to do that anymore." And you're abandoning me, man, because I needed him to be out there singing them songs. Right. And so once he left, we couldn't do the originals no more because we didn't have him. And so we just did cover tunes and became a bar band. And me and him never quit writing songs together. We always wrote songs, and we were always friends like that. But he just didn't want to do cover tunes. It just wasn't his thing. And he had all the ability to do it. He had charisma. He had a lot better voice than me, and he was he was a great music person. My brother was. I'm very proud of him. And
well, I'm jealous.
He didn't want to cover no tunes, though.
I know, but I'm jealous that you grew up in a musical family where it was encouraged. Your brothers were playing together.
Yeah, the interesting thing is that with our band, nobody took lessons. I think Steve may have taken some guitar lessons a couple of years before I started playing guitar, but he really didn't stick with it. Nobody took lessons. There was me and him and my other brother Ray. He played bass guitar, and he writes songs too, and he could play guitar. Then my childhood friend Joe McLeod, he was our drummer. And so how that band got started was I bought a Fender Telecaster guitar, and I borrowed the money from, I won't say from who, but it was 24% interest. So started playing electric guitar down in, me and Steve bought an old house in Detroit together and had an old basement. So we started playing down there. The next thing you know, Ray was down there playing bass because it was me and Steve. And then my childhood friend Joe, he had a set of drums and he started playing. And we practiced like crazy. It's like this was the one thing we wanted to be able to do was play music. But we were workers too. We all worked a job. So if you're loading trains or you're roofing, you're too tired to go take guitar lessons. So being in a band that's your fun. It's not your serious thing where you're trying to be famous or anything. It's what you're doing for fun. And that's what we did. And eventually we actually got really, after we learned how to tune up and stuff, and we did learn that.
How to be in tune with your bandmates.
Yeah. You know, when I first started playing guitar, an acoustic guitar I bought for $5. I didn't know anything about A440 or tuning. I don't think there were any electrical tuning, battery operated tuners.
Right. It was all by ear.
Yeah, to have your pitch
By
pop.
ear. Mm-hmm.
So I would play a guitar and I would tune it to Wildwood Flower. That was the first song I learned how to play. Down, 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 down. So I learned how to play that wherever the notes were. I made that guitar play that song when I played it right. And I thought, well, it's in tune then. But I don't know whether it was above 840 or what. But it was in tune. I just don't know where on the scale.
As long as you're relative, you're actually in good shape. You know, if everyone's tuning up, one person and everyone tunes with them, you're all right.
Yeah.
You know, back in the day, that's what we did. So.
Yeah, I got a book. I don't have this book anymore. One of those books you buy for, now they're probably $40, but I bought mine for $2. And it had songs in it with guitar chords on it. And it had songs like "Make the World Go Away" by Eddie Arnold, and it had Spanish Harlem in there. And I actually wound up doing that song right out of the book. I just started banging them chords and singing, "There's a rose in Spanish Harlem," and I think I was doing it more like Aretha Franklin did it. But that's how. And then I got a microphone and I got a little PV set. And then got some girls up there in the apartment and was singing that Spanish Harlem, fast speed. And them girls just loved this, but I was a handsome, young, dashing fellow at the time, folks.
Oh, you still are. Let's listen to Old Memory Road.
All right.
No one likes to go down old memory road the way that I do. So I sat myself down and I wrote me a song, gonna send it to you. I've been out all around the world. I played the daring game. I'm sorry I was gone for a while. It was a walk in the rain. It was a walk in the rain. It was a walk in the rain when I stepped out. A walk in the rain when you found out. It was a walk in the rain. Traveler knows till he goes down that road, and no one knows what an old sailor knows till he rides on the wave. I've been out all around the world. I've played the daring game. I'm sorry I was gone for a while. It was a walk in the rain. No one likes to go down old memory road the way that I do. So I sat myself down and I wrote send it to you. And it's all about you. And it's all about you. And it's all about you.
Woo-wee.
And
I
we
get
are
emotional.
we are back on the ranch. Thank you for tuning in. The ranch is brought to you by Blast Music 24/7, a great indie site for if you haven't checked them out. You can put your music up there. They have a lot of podcasts. They do a lot of cool stuff, but you can put your stuff up there, and it's just great resources for networking and other things for indie artists. So. And Hotel Universe is also the one who's putting us up on Roku. So a lot of stuff happening these days, a lot of technology that's could be good for us. So
Yeah,
so,
it's been real good for us.
you know what? You can ignore it at your own peril, but learn how to use it. There's so many people on it. You know, it's a way to find your fans. You know,
Yeah.
so you got to embrace it.
On that song, Old Memory Road there, again, I owe so much to everyone that was involved in that. And every time I watch that video, I get real emotional about it because of the song but my whole family's in that video, and the first 8 times that I watched it, I cried because it took me back to that little party with my daughters there when they were little, and me and Pam when we were younger, and so I get real emotional when I watch that video, and I owe so much to Russell Hayden. Again, he played the steel guitar on that, and he did an amazing banjo on it. And Alicia, she brought that song to an end. At the very end of that song, Alicia brings that fiddle and brought that down there, and my granddaughter was out there playing the fiddle at the same time. And my friend Jeff Forrest, when he told me what he was going to do with this song, I said, "You sure that's going to work?" And he said, "Yeah, I'm coming up to your house." He said, "I'm doing this as a tribute to your family." And he said, "Jeff, are you listening? You're a genius and you're brilliant. I love you, man." He did so much on that video with so little that he had, and he made it so good that was at my house. And the desert part is just about 2 blocks from me is the desert. So me and him went up there, and he filmed me walking there with that guitar case. And I never have an inkling like what it's going to turn out to be, but Jeff and all of those people gave me a gift there with that video there that I love so much. And
it is really sweet.
That's number 2. That's the top. The cream rises to the top. I don't know what. I guess it's Americana, old time Americana.
Yeah, I would say that.
With some Gordon Lightfoot connotations.
Well, I have to tell you, our people watching tonight, Billy really loves your story, and I love listening to the backstory of everything and where you've come from, and how it really shines through in your music. It's just an amazing journey.
Thank you very much, Randie. I've enjoyed being with you. This has really been fun for me. I'm sincere.
I'm telling you
about it. I was on the Randy O'Neill show.
Rick, I can talk with you all night. We're ready. We only have 5 minutes left. Oh my goodness. Where can people find you?
Well, they can find me on Facebook. They can find me on Instagram. They can get all my songs are on YouTube. All my videos are on YouTube. And on May 18th, I think, ricklovettmusic.com is going to come up. And we're going to talk about, I don't know exactly what I'm going to do there except talk about the music and present my songs. But I'm a writer too. I'm an amateur writer. I haven't published anything yet, but I'm close. And I like to write short stories, and I got some short stories that are going to appear there. and I'm going to do some excerpts out of my book too. I'm writing a book, and I'm almost done with it, 80% done with it. And that's going to be on there. So ricklovettmusic.com as of May 18th.
Oh, brand new website. That's very exciting.
Brand new. Yeah, I've never had, well, I did have a website many years ago. The High Grass Rollers had a website, but my friend who's passed away, like most of them have, he ran that website for me. And it was a really neat website too. And then once the High Grass Rollers were broke up, then we didn't have it no more.
Oh,
Website.com's coming up.
Yeah, websites have come a long way and they're a lot more user-friendly now, websites. It's easier for us laymen to keep up on our own website these days.
Is that right? Because I got a lot to learn, and I'm hoping to learn how to do this. The fellow that's helping me out, he's not going to be doing this work on the stuff that I need. He's not going to do it for free, so it's going to be important for me to learn. He told me he would help me out. And,
you kind of have to have a sense of adventure for these things. I've learned how to put up pages now. I built that for all indie Americana artists that are watching and you want to be in the show, you can go to my website and go to /shows. And I actually built that whole page, and I'm kind of proud of that.
I'm going to go check it out.
Yeah, the forms and stuff. I learned how to do that. So you just got to have like a little bit of a sense of adventure. And if it's not going right, you don't save it. You just get out of there and start over. So,
oh, really? Yeah. See, I got a lot to learn. I've never even entered into one of those, but the guy that's doing it, he says he'd put whatever I want on there. I want to be able to, for folks to go to a page like pick out if I got 3 stories, they can pick which one they want to go read, and they won't be real long stories or anything. I'll just keep them a couple of pages or something. I'll think of something that's cool.
Right.
I'm looking forward to it.
Oh, that's going to be interesting. I look forward to reading your works. I'm a huge horror sci-fi fan.
On my book, I'm writing about coming back from Kentucky. This is just part of it. We're coming back to Detroit from Kentucky when I was a kid, and I told Pam, I said, we're going to stop at a rest area. I got to put a little punch in this. We're going to stop at a rest area, and we're all going to be sleeping in the car because we're all poor people, and some creature's going to come out of the woods and scare Ricky. That's me. I'm playing myself in the book, or my own character. So Ricky gets attacked, and these monsters come out and break the windows out of our car and pull us out of the car and get us all. and then I'm going to. And I told Pam, I said, this is going to be a dream. Ricky's going to wake up. You've seen, hey, Randie, have you seen how many times that's used, like in horror movies? First, a really bad thing happens, and they wake up. So they can do it again. See, you can keep writing these different things. As long as it's a dream, you can do it again.
Now, if you did Nightmare on Elm Street, they use dreams brilliantly.
Yeah, they sure did. They sure did. I've seen that a lot in movies. It's a technique of writing, like write songs they'll like in a bar. You know? And that's another thing. Movies, whatever, television shows, writers that write detective shows, you don't think they go back and watch old movies, detective shows like Kojak and whatever to get ideas from them? Sure they do. Definitely. They've all been covered.
Well, Rick, we are running out of time. I really could talk to you all night. We're going to have you back on the show when you have the Shamrock Bar song done. A couple months from now. So we look forward to that. Go to his website when he has it up. He's got some short stories coming out. And thank you all for joining me on the ranch. This has been really a fun episode. We do this every Monday night. So we'll see you back here on the ranch.
Thank you very much, Randie.
Just sit tight. I'll be right with you.
I'm on the road, don't know where it goes. I'm on a road, follow your heart, it won't let you down. Follow your heart, take the steps beyond your way.